The USA Network presents exclusive coverage of the 1985 Coors Light International Water Ski Tour and this, the Indianapolis International Championships, featuring the world's top men and women competitors in pro water skiing as they compete for the professional championships. The 1985 Coors Light International Water Ski Tour is brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light turns it loose with professional water skiing. Ski Supreme, the leader and innovator of world-class luxury for the demanding skier. And by Mastercraft, the standard by which all others are judged. After 2 consecutive days of rain, the weatherman has cooperated fully here in Indianapolis, Indiana. The sun is shining brightly on the shores of the White River here on the final stop of the Coors Light International Professional Water Skiing Tour. Hello again, everyone. Kevin Slayton alongside 3-time former world champion Wayne Grimdich. And Wayne, the tour has been a great success, and everybody, I think, is anticipating a great finish today.
Well, it sure has been a success, and this is the first time we're here at Indianapolis, and the site looks terrific. And if the rain or the clouds cooperate, it should be a great competition today.
The men's slalom is no different than it has been on each of the tour stops this year. Fiercely competitive. Mike Kjellander comes in leading, although Bob LaPoint, even though he's won only 2 of the stops, still has an outside chance.
He sure does, and Bob's going to have to ski well, and Kjellander might have to falter a little. Bob needs to place 2 places above Kjellander in order to successfully defend his title.
On the women's side in the slalom competition, Camille Duvall has already clinched the overall title. But on the men's jumping side in the preliminary rounds with the bad weather, Sammy Duvall, the top seed coming in, had a little bit of a problem jumping, and you wonder if that was just the weather.
Well, Sammy jumped very well in Shreveport. He didn't have a good round yesterday. However, both he and Mike are great pressure skiers. The jumping event will be extremely intense this afternoon.
Sammy Duvall and Mike Hazelwood staging a war all year long. Sammy coming in as the top seed. In the men's freestyle, though, Scotty Clack has been the winner in all 9 of the tour events. He goes for the perfect 10 today.
Scotty's going to go for a double front flip today, I think, and we could see the first one done successfully this afternoon.
We'll return to the Indianapolis International Championships with the start of the Coors Light International Water Ski Tour with the men's slalom right after this.
If your skiing requires something special, look into the exciting new Mastercraft Power Slot. The world leader in tournament towboats, Mastercraft introduces the ultimate in pulling power. The Power Slot, with a revolutionary 1.5 to 1 gear ratio, is the easiest ski boat to drive for short line slalom and jumping. This, coupled with the Power Slot's reliable holding ability, proves that Mastercraft is more than a boat. Mastercraft is a statement of excellence.
Gonna party like the slalom title is still up for grabs. This huge crowd has come out to see all of the exciting action. Mike Kjellander is the leader, but Bob LaPoint is chasing him just 300 points behind. Andy Mapple breathing hard down LaPoint's neck, 500 behind him, and then Lucky Lowe in 4th place with 5,600 overall points. Bob LaPoint at 35 off, skiing for Mastercraft, has to make the pass through the course safely to keep pace with Andy Mapple.
Notice Bob's body position through the wakes. It's usually ideal. His shoulders are back, hips forward. He's pulling hard. Crosses the second wake, changes the edge, slows down, makes number 6. They move on to 38 off.
No problem for Bob LaPoint and Andy Mapple, both through the course at 35 off, and they'll shorten the rope again. Even though he is in 3rd place in the men's slalom, Andy Mapple is a long shot to win the overall standings. We asked him what his approach would be today.
Winning the tour is out of my reach, but I have a good chance of getting the 2nd place. I've just got to go out there and do the very best I can, and hopefully that's going to be enough to stay ahead of Bob and hopefully finish up in 2nd place.
Andy Mapple at 38 off on those O'Brien skis, giving it a go.
Whoa, Andy had a bad start there. You could get he stretched out, went down course a long ways there, was late coming into 3, and he kicks the ski out around 3. Unfortunate. Andy's capable of making that pass. 38 off, the rope is a 1/2 foot short of the width of the course. Here he turns 1, and he gets pulled out, loses his width, has to really turn hard on 2, pull long to get outside of 3, doesn't quite get his weight back soon enough, and the ski kicks out, and that completes his run of about 2.5. The start is so important here. Can't be going too fast. Gets a nice turn, but he gets his shoulders over a little bit too far, and he can't quite hold on. There's a lot of strain on the upper body in slalom. Skiers pulling anywhere from 700 to 1,000 pounds of pressure. Comes into three, narrow and fast. And that finishes his run 2.5, I think, at 38 off.
Bob LaPoint needs to be 2.5 buoys at 38 off, setting up there by Andy Mapple.
Bob LaPoint, having won 3 world titles, very accustomed to running slalom. He's a great technician on the course. Turns well off both sides. Needs to get around number 3 here. Cruises around 3. Gets inside the wakes before the next set of gate buoys. He'll get 3 and move on to the final bracket.
So 3 for Bob LaPoint. He'll go into the championship round. You can see this huge crowd that has come out. Some estimates ranging around 15,000 people on hand here this afternoon on the banks of the White River in Indianapolis. They've really supported the tour here in Indy. Mike Kjellander at 35 off. Lucky Lowe already through the course at this rope length. Kjellander skiing on that Connolly ski.
Watch Mike's turn on 3 coming up here. Get down in the water. That's his characteristic style. A little slower turn on 4. He's left foot forward skiers turn quicker to the left. He makes the pass. Now they move on to 38 off.
And that's usually where you separate the men from the boys at that rope length. And we'll see if that holds true in this semifinal matchup. Lucky Lowe at 38 off. This will be a tough one for him.
Lucky gets a pretty good start. A little bobble around 2. He's looking pretty good, though. You can see the kind of strength he has. Whoa, he's pulling hard for 5. Great effort by Lucky.
When he came around 4, he was in trouble, but he kept going for 5. Nearly got cleanly around it. Here's another look at Lucky Lowe's run at 38 off.
You get a great idea of the upper body strength of Lucky coming into 4 very fast. A lot of slack rope. He just hangs on and really pulls along to get out around 5. Body slam into the water. We'll have to wait and see whether he gets 4.25 or 4.5. Slalom puts such a strain on the upper body. As I mentioned earlier, 700 to 1,000 pounds of pull on the rope. It's a great effort by Lucky. His slalom has really been good for him this year.
And officially he gets 4 at 38 off, so that's the mark that Kjellander has to top. Bob LaPoint, of course, his only hope of catching Kjellander would be for him to fall short of that mark, and then for LaPoint himself to win in the championship round. Mike Kjellander needs better than 4 at 38 off in order to advance into the finals against Bob LaPoint. If he gets better than 4, Bob LaPoint's eliminated from the overall championship.
It's important for Mike to get a big turn on 1, 3, and 5. It's a little slow on 2, gets down in the water on 3. Powerful skier, stretching to get around 5, and it looks like he'll have just enough to move into the final round.
I'm Kevin Slayton along with Wayne Grimditch, and we'll be back in a moment with more of the exciting men's slalom. Here we're talking with Dr. Larry Davis. And Dr. Davis, as you look out over this crowd, it has to be extremely gratified to you that you see so many people out here at this beautiful site.
It certainly is. It's a memento of what Indianapolis can do as far as generating activity in sports, and I think beyond that, I've got an outstanding team that has been working for months to see if our first ever major site event would be the kind of success we prayed for and hoped for, and I think it's happening.
We've seen all of the sites on the tour this year, but this stop here is just about perfect for record-setting capabilities and all of the tremendous jumping that we've seen here.
Well, it's certainly on slalom also, and jumping. We've got the kind of conditions where we can pull home new world's records, and we think that we're going to have some before the end of this competition, which would sure be nice for a first-time event.
Dr. Davis, thanks very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
With Bob LaPoint chasing Mike Kjellander, we had a chance to talk with Bob LaPoint and asked him if he felt a little bit more pressure being in the second spot today.
Well, I've got nothing to lose here. Being in second spot, I've got to win. That's the only way I can win the tour. So I really think the pressure's on Mike. He knows he's in the lead, and all he can do is do worse than do good. So it's just a question of me going out there and putting the pressure on him.
Bob LaPoint at 35 off. Battling with Kjellander here in the championship round.
The start is so important at the shorter line lanes. 40-foot rope, low speed 36 miles per hour. Bob's looking pretty smooth here. He turns equally well off both sides, which is unusual. He's a great technician on the course.
And he's through it at 35 off. You think he's got a record on his mind, Wayne?
He looked so smooth in practice yesterday, then he came within a buoy and a half of the record. I think he's got a good shot today.
Mike Kjellander at 35 off, skiing on that Connolly ski, and hopefully for him, an effort to break the record also waits today.
Get a good idea of the strength of Michael Kjellander right there. Different from Bob, Mike turns better on 1, 3, and 5. A little slower turn on 2, 4, which is normal for a left foot forward skier, turning better to the left than to the right.
Neither skier with two different styles having any problem at all so far on the course, and they'll move it up to 38 off now. Bob LaPoint at 38 off. This will be a real test for him, Wayne.
You can't afford to get behind at this pass. The rope is a half a foot shorter the width of the course. You can see him. Whoa! Bad luck for Bob. He's capable of running this pass. Watch how much the skier has to stretch to get around the outside of the buoy. He's coming into number 2, really reaching out as far as he can, gets over just a little bit too far, and the rope pops out of his hand.
And with that, a chance at a record goes into the water.
Everything happens so quickly at 38 off. It's just unbelievable. The turns have to be faster. The skier has to accelerate away quicker. And here Bob just gets down the water a little bit too much, possibly overturned a little. And finishes with 1.5 at 38 off. Here again, Michael Kjellander has the benefit of going second. He knows he only has to get 2 to win the tournament.
Mike Kjellander gunning for his 4th straight win, needs to beat 1.5 buoys at 38 off.
He needed to be careful not to get down too far in the water on 1. He did a fine job on 1 and 2. He's looking strong here. He's going to need a big turn on 5, and he gets it. He's going to make it.
He's through the course at 38, and he will go for a new record.
That's an impressive display of slalom power, pure power.
Mike Kjellander wins this event, and now will try to beat Bob LaPoint's record. So Mike Kjellander will now try to beat Bob LaPoint's record of 5 buoys at 39.5 off. All right, Kjellander going for the record, needs to beat 5 at 39.5 off.
It's just unbelievable. The rope is 2 feet shorter than the width of the buoy. It's just how he could even get around the buoy is beyond me.
And he just barely gets around 2. So the record is still safe. And here's another look, Wayne.
It's really a sensational effort just to get around the buoy at 39.5 off. Gets a pretty good one, comes into 2, and tries to use all of his reach. And now he gets a little forward on the ski, and the fin kicks out.
Men's slalom in the books here at Indianapolis. Mike Kjellander is the winner, his 4th in a row, and his 6th on the tour this year. He's standing by with Wayne.
Mike, an outstanding performance today. Boy, 6 tournaments over the season. Impressive display of slalom ability.
Thanks. Everything's been going my way this year. I started off a bit weak, but it came back real strong, and I just felt great this year.
Looking forward to seeing you next year. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Lowe.
Kevin, back up to you.
All right, Kjellander, the winner here today, and of the overall point standings. Bob LaPoint 2nd today, 2nd overall. Andy Mapple finishes 3rd today and overall, and Lucky Lowe, the 4th place finisher today. Mario Fosha into the water on the hydro slide out of Tampa, Florida, 22 years old. He's a student at the University of South Florida, but he's also a student of the hydro slide, and he'll be performing some tremendous moves here on the hydro slide, something that I suppose looks easy, Wayne, but is not quite as easy as he makes it look. He's the world and national record holder in the flip-off event. He did 9 flips in 20 seconds. That's pretty quick.
It's moving right along. There's the first flip. Makes it look very easy. Kevin, you could do that.
Oh, I'm sure. In my dreams, perhaps, but that's about it. Mario Fosha, one of the finest hydro sliders in the world. All right, the men's freestyle jumping. This is always a great crowd pleaser. And the overall standings as we come into this final tour stop. Scotty Clack unbeaten through 9 events. Joe Aloe and Mike Tolzmann waging a war in second place. And Dave Dotter, who has come out of nowhere, is now in 4th place in the overall point totals. Dave Dotter with his 3rd jump of the afternoon. He says he'll attempt a back Mobius.
Dave does this maneuver very well. He gets good height. Watch as he does his double weight cut, building spring speed, and then gets his spring, comes around. Oh, that's a hard landing.
He waves to the crowd to signify he's all right. He knew he was coming down roughly, and he just ducked his head for safety.
You get a good idea here why the skiers use wetsuits, full-length helmets, have sufficient padding. He takes a very hard fall there. Didn't look like Dave got enough spring at the top of the ramp. Slips out a little early and doesn't have the height and time to finish the rotation.
Well, you can see the viciousness with which he flipped over when he hit the water. With all of the freestylers chasing Scotty Clack, we had a chance to talk with Mike Tolzmann and asked him what maneuver would be important for him today.
All 3 maneuvers will have to be right on the money. I'll have to go real far on my Mobius, upwards in the 90s, and my front flip will have to be over 100 feet. That'll pretty much be it.
Mike Tolzmann with his 3rd jump of the afternoon. He'll do a flip this time after a gainer and a back Mobius.
Now we've got another back Mobius coming right here, and whoa, he looked like he was going to be a little short, but he managed to pull it around.
Changing his mind on a jump as he approaches the ramp. Of course, the skiers are free to do that.
Freestyle skiers as a group have performed so well this year, and all 4 of them have managed to stay relatively healthy, which is just unbelievable considering the maneuvers and the new tricks they continually try.
Joe Aloe for his 3rd jump. It'll be a flip. He did a gainer and a back Mobius. Now he'll go for the flip.
Joe does a fabulous front flip. He really kicks it hard at the top and dives forward. Gets great distance. That's a fabulous jump there.
Joey Aloe trying to catch Scotty Clack both today and in the overall point standings.
Joe's best effort distance-wise on this maneuver has been 127 feet. That was a good jump for him. It's his bread and butter jump, and he usually scores very high.
Scott Clack, his 3rd jump of the day, a front flip for Scott. He did a 720 and a back Mobius earlier, skiing on those Mastercraft skis in his Ego wetsuit.
Boat speed 35 miles an hour. Scotty will hit it about 50. He holds the distance record of 133 feet. That's not quite that far, but still a good jump for Scott.
He's had 3 good jumps thus far.
Again, he has such great control of position all through the air. It's a little pull forward there, but big points for Scotty Clack.
The Mastercraft and Ski Supreme boats pulling the skiers as they come back for their final jump of the day. Dave Dotter with his final jump. It looks as though he'll attempt another back Mobius. He fell on his last attempt, and that'll score more points than the 720 he originally declared.
All the skiers have the option on their last attempt, change up, try a maneuver that will give them more points. Here he goes again, better spring, and that'll do it for him. That was a good session by Dave Dotter. He really is skiing very consistently to the latter half of the year. The difference being on this jump and the one he fell on, he got a better lift off the end, more time to complete the maneuver.
And there's a look at Dave Dotter's points on his 4 jumps. He did not get the points for the 3rd one in which he fell, but they only count the 3 best anyway. Mike Tolzmann with his final jump of the day. He's either going to do a gainer or a double front flip.
He attempted the double front, as did Scotty Clack in Shreveport. He ended up a little short. We'll have to wait and see what he decides to do. Double front. Whoa!
He's waving to the crowd. He came completely out of his skis, hit on his back and his ribs.
It looks like he's okay, though. Here he goes. He dives forward, really tries to snap it around, and unfortunately gets a little twisted towards the boat, and it stops his rotation for the 2nd flip. Trying to get a lot of speed to the ramp and give it a good spring. He perhaps dove too far forward and didn't get the required height, and gets twisted sideways, and that can be very hard on the legs, landing in a sideways position.
He's getting into the boat as you look at his point totals, and now it looks like he is all right. Looked for a moment like he was stunned, but those are the point totals that Tolzmann racks up today. Of course, they throw out the worst jump anyway, so that won't hurt him point-wise. Joe Aloe with his final jump. He claims he'll do either a flip or a front Mobius. We'll have to wait until he approaches the ramp to figure out which it'll be today.
I think Joe will probably try his front flip again. He didn't score quite as high on the one before. I think he's looking for more speed and a little better landing to get higher form points, and he lets go there. Skier has the option to letting go or balking, and something was wrong there, perhaps some rough water, or he was just a little late getting to the ramp and he was out of position and elected not to take the jump.
Joe skiing for the O'Brien ski team, of course, not taking any chance on that final jump, that injury, keeping his first 3 jumps, and those are the point totals for them. Scott Clack with his final jump on the tour this year is going to be a double front flip, something no one has ever pulled off successfully.
He came so very close in Shreveport. The crowd's behind him. He was just a fraction off a couple weeks ago.
Here he goes.
What happens here?
Whoa!
Bad luck.
Just didn't get there at the end. Looked like he was going to get it.
Like Tolzmann, he got a little twisted in the air. He comes off the end, good snap of the legs, keeping a nice tuck, but then he gets a little twisted and he falls just a little bit short. These freestyle skiers are so gutsy. I mean, this is a 5.5-foot ramp going off at 50 miles an hour, and believe me, the water's not very soft coming down from 15 to 18 feet in the air.
And he nearly went off the side of the ramp. And Scott Clack finishing his jumping. Those are his totals today, enough for him to win his 10th event in 10 tries this year. Perfection achieved for Scott Clack, and with that 10th victory, a new tour record for points for Scott Clack. All right, the winner of the men's freestyle for the 10th time in 10 tries, unbelievably, Scott Clack. Let's go down dockside where Wayne is standing by with him.
Thanks, Kevin. Scotty, fantastic effort. Nice try on the double front, but you got a little banged up.
Yeah, I think I pulled some ligaments or sprained my ankle really bad. I can't walk on it right now.
What are freestylers going to be doing next year?
Well, hopefully we're going to make that double front flip and bring in a couple new tricks, the full twisting front and 1080 for next year.
Well, you've been a great leader. Congratulations again.
Thanks. I just want to show my appreciation and thank Coors Light, Mastercraft Skis, Mastercraft Boats, and Eagle Wetsuits for putting me through this year. Thanks a lot.
Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Wayne, and congratulations to Scotty Clack, and we hope that ankle heals very quickly. He wins today, as he has on each stop on the tour this year, the only undefeated champion. Mike Tolzmann finishes second today, Dave Donner third, and Joe Aloe fourth. They're not that rare of a sight in professional sports. Successful brother acts are, and rarer still is that brother-sister combination that makes it to the top echelon of their sport. Such is the case for Camille and Sammy Duvall, featured in an article in Sports Illustrated magazine 2 weeks ago, and earlier Wayne had a chance to talk with both of them.
Camille, you've won the tour now for the 2nd year in a row. Obviously, you've had success this year. What are your impressions of the tour?
Well, I think the tour is bigger and better than it was last year, and hopefully it's going to get bigger and better next year. I think it's a giant step forward for water skiing, and all of us are going to benefit from it, the skiers as well as the spectators.
So you're looking forward to next year?
Oh, yeah.
Standing on my right is Camille's younger brother, Sammy Duvall. Sammy's won just about every world title that there is, twice world overall champion, or the current world jump champion. You've skied well this year. How have you benefited from the tour?
Well, Wayne, I think the greatest thing that I've benefited from is that the tour has actually set a foundation to follow. In '84, it was a great year. This was a bigger and better year, more money, bigger crowds, and we're traveling to 10 spots this year. And we're looking forward to '86 because we're going to have even more money and even more stops. And we're going to be bringing the skiing to more people that don't know about it, and subsequently the sport of skiing is going to grow.
What's your focus for next year?
Well, once again, I think my main key focus has to be jumping, and then, of course, exposure of the sport. USA's done a fantastic job with it, as well as the media we've gotten along the way. So skiing's growing, and I just hope to win along all the stops.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you both, Sammy and Camille Duvall. Back to you, Kevin.
The women's slalom event, which has already been clinched in the overall standings by Camille Duvall, will see quite a rush between Second place, Karin Roberge and Deena Brush in third. You can see just how close they are in the overall point standings. The best Deena can do with a first place finish today would be to tie Karin for second place, but that is something indeed that Deena will be shooting for. Jennifer Leachman in fourth place with 3,100 points. Earlier we talked with Karin Roberge and asked her what she would focus on today.
Well, today I'm going to focus on really keeping my form nice, because in the past week I've had a little bit of trouble with my slalom, and with the practice I've had, I feel really confident this week, and I'm feeling in good form.
Karin Roberge at 32 off. She must get through the course in order to keep pace with Deena Brush. Karin skiing for Kidder skis and currently second in the overall standings on the tour this year.
Right now, we're at a 43-foot rope. The buoys are set 37.5 feet from the center line of the course. Karin's looking pretty good, waiting for three. Buckles a little bit, bending her back around the buoy, but she's pulling hard. And she's looking pretty good. Little bobble there, but she gets around six, holds onto the slack rope, and now they'll move on to the next pass.
Course conditions perfect, and they're really skiing well. Both skiers home at 32 off. Earlier we had a chance to talk with Deena Brush, and we asked her what she would have to do today to ski well.
Well, what I'm going to do is just go out there with some determination. I think in the last tour stops I haven't done that, and also keep my concentration throughout my runs.
Deena Brush at 35 off, skiing on those HO skis, needs a good run here in order to put the pressure on Karin Roberge, whom she currently trails in the overall standings. Deena needs a victory here this afternoon to tie for second overall, and here she goes at 35 off. This will be a test for her.
She's got a pretty good start, a little slack on two. She's nice turn on three, but she loses her angle there, and she lets go going around number four.
So Deena Brush in the water, didn't quite get around four cleanly at 35 off. Karin Roberge must go further than three buoys here at 35 off in order to surpass Deena Brush. Karin skiing on those Kidder skis.
Setup is very important. You got to come to one without too much speed. She comes to two, pulls the rope in. She's pulling hard for three. She's late. Let's see if she can get around the outside. And it looks like she's got four.
Karin Roberge sails around four safely and thus knocks Deena Brush out of the overall race for second place. Four buoys for Karin Roberge at 35 off, and she will ski on into the finals. Deena Brush has been kind enough to join us up in the booth. Welcome, Deena.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
And of course, we will get her expert commentary on the conditions of the water and the skiers in the water. Camille Duvall, the top seed in the tournament, coming in here with 3 straight victories. Skiing now at 32 off. She must go through the course without a problem in order to keep pace with Jennifer Leachman, and the water still looks very smooth, Deena.
It sure does. Camille's looking stronger each tournament. I think knowing that she's winning, she just has the control to go out there and ski her best, even through the harder passes.
And not having any problem here at 32 off through the exit gate safely, Camille Duvall and Jennifer Leachman safely home at 32 off. Jennifer Leachman at 35 off. Be interesting to see how well she does at this pass, because she's been skiing a lot better recently.
We're at a 40-foot rope here. You really have to, oh, she loses a handle coming across the wakes.
You'll notice that Jennifer does make a few mistakes out there.
Take another look at it. Coming around one, you need the right combination of speed to the buoy, not going too fast. It's more difficult to turn the ski when it's going faster. She pulls the rope in. I don't know, Deena. It looks like she just couldn't hang on to it. Maybe she overturned a little.
It was just that simple mistake of dropping your shoulders and thus letting the handle go.
So Jennifer Leachman, 1.5 at 35 off, and now Camille Duvall needs only to beat that in order to move into the finals. Camille Duvall, she needs to beat 1.5 at 35 off. This has been an elusive distance for her all year, hasn't it, Deena?
It sure has. She hasn't been able to get through this pass for the entire season, and she's really going to go for it. I don't think she's just going to go for the win, but try to score so that she can make the whole pass and get up there on the standings.
And that's exactly what she's doing. She's already got the victory, and she's going to try to take it through the course.
Oh, she's looking great there. Had a good turn on number 3. She's really pulling hard. She's going to get, there it is.
Camille Duvall has gotten through at 35 off. Deena Brush, you were right on the button. She went for the whole thing. So Camille Duvall into the championship round, where she'll face Karin Roberge for the Indianapolis title. As we take stock of all of the good things that have happened to us on the Coors Light International Water Ski Tour this year, it just wouldn't be the same without these people who work so diligently behind the scenes. C.W. Lowe, Tony Baggiano, Skip Gilkerson, all of these folks, Carol Lowe, Jack Walker, Bob Ling, doing such a wonderful job, and they don't seem to get enough credit as we go along, including Jerry Jensen and Ricky McCormick, the on-site announcers every week on every stop. Karin Roberge in at 32 off. It starts to get interesting at this rope length, although both skiers in their semifinal brackets made it through at 32 off.
Karin gets a pretty good start here. Whoa, she straightens up a little, has to turn a second time, and she's struggling here, really trying to play catch-up. She's a fighter on the course, and looks like she's going to get it.
She fought all the way through that pass, and when Karin fights at 32 off, we know at 35 is going to be a good run.
Camille Duvall now at 32 off. She must get through. Karin has already completed this pass. Deena, do you like to go second in this type of an order?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to go second too much this year, but second is definitely the best position to go, and you know what your competition's doing. And Camille's just skiing 32 so strong. She's having nice turns, nice pulls off each buoy.
Technically, she's with that, she's having no problem here.
Technically, she's looking very strong, just like she did in Shreveport.
Safely through at 32 off, so they'll move it up one notch to 35 off, and things will really get tight at that rope length. Camille Duvall and Karin Roberge in the championship round. Karin Roberge skiing on those kidder skis here at 35 off. She struggled at 32, and you think that gives her confidence here now, huh, Deena?
Yeah, I think so. And plus, knowing that Camille's after her, she has to run this 35 because she saw Camille do it in the earlier rounds. Oh, just getting pulled out around number one through the wakes.
A tough break for Karin Roberge. She doesn't get to the second buoy at 35 off. We'll take another look at it.
You know, we see so many of the skiers at the shorter line lanes have problems with number one. Now, number one is set closer to the gates, and the remaining buoys are to each other. Here, she turns, gets her shoulder over, and looks just like she gets pulled out. Can't hold on to the pull from the boat.
So Karin with one buoy at 35 off. In the semifinals, Camille Duvall skied through the course at 35 off. She may well do it here again and then go for the record. Camille Duvall needing just to clear more than one buoy here to win the championship, but she wants to go through the entire course to get a crack at the record.
That's right. She knows that just to get around that two will be easy. She has a good one, has two, and I'm surprised. I thought that Camille would go for the rest of the course.
She pulls up, heading for the third buoy. I'm a little bit surprised also, Wayne.
Well, it is, but maybe it's anticlimactic after winning or running 38 earlier. She's going for the win, and that's the benefit of going second, knowing exactly what you have to do.
So Camille Duvall defeats Karin Roberge with 2 at 35 off, but doesn't go for the record. Nonetheless, she wins her 4th tour stop in a row. Camille Duvall, the winner here in the women's slalom, and she's standing by dockside now with Wayne Grimditch. Wayne?
Camille, congratulations. Really well done. You're skiing so technically well since Shreveport, and today, no problem.
Well, I would say no problem, but I just finally have my mind in gear, and I'm getting my technique right, like you say, and just all came together today for me.
Well, congratulations again, the second year in a row, the tour winner.
Great, thank you. Thanks a lot. We hope to be back bigger and better next year.
Kevin, you have the final results?
Yes, sir, Wayne. Camille, of course, is the winner. 4th stop in a row for Camille Duvall, and with that win, of course, she wins the overall point standings. Karin Roberge finishes second today, likewise in the overall points. Same story for Deena Brush and Jennifer Leachman. The man who is the fastest barefoot skier in the world, Scott Pelleton. He's skied up as fast as 115 miles an hour, and, of course, his record 119. And he's done 115 here on the tour this year. There he goes, trying for a new record. You see the parachute fly out of there. When he gets going at a certain speed, he bails out. He knows pretty much how fast he can go without serious injury, and thus he gets the heck out of there when he feels that he reaches that point. The men's distance jump, always an interesting event. In the top 8 in the overall point standings, as you know them. Sammy Duvall, of course, the leader. Mike Hazelwood just 300 points behind. He could overtake Sammy with a good tournament today. Glenn Thurlow in 3rd place. Bruce Neville in 4th. And then in 5th place, Lucky Lowe, who has won one stop on the tour and indeed set the tour record this year of 195 feet. Geoff Carrington in 6th, Karin Roberge 7th, and Mike Kjellander in 8th. Into the finals now in the men's jumping competition. Mike Kjellander, Karin Roberge, Lucky Lowe, and Bruce Neville all eliminated in the semifinal round. So they will not be in the final 4, but these gentlemen will. Geoff Carrington, Glenn Thurlow, Mike Hazelwood, and the lone American jumper, Sammy Duvall. Geoff Carrington with his second jump needs to push it at least 10 feet further because 181 is the mark put up by Roberge. He's going to give it a go here.
Geoff swinging out wide to the right. Again, this gives the skier time to generate speed to the ramp. They'll be hitting the ramp 65, 70 miles an hour. The impact at the bottom, nice kick. That's a long jump for Geoff. He'll be happy with that.
He may have gotten it out far enough to take the lead. We'll have to wait and see.
What I was going to say is the impact at the bottom of the ramp is greater than the force on landing. Engineers estimate 10 to 20 G's right at the base. He really locks it out. You can see an extra float right at the end. That means the skier has gone further. We'll have to wait and see just how far he went.
187 feet, Wayne, so that is the mark now that is in first place, and that one may be tough for any of the jumpers to beat. And for Geoff Carrington, his best jump of his career. Geoff Carrington in a good position that all athletes like to be in no matter the sport, and that is of sitting back, having pretty much your best jump behind you, and now you can let it all go on the final one.
And I think that's just what he'll do. Watch to see if his arms are too stretched. Will have been out of shape maybe to base, yes. He missed his spring that time, coming across the wake, trying to fight the resistance from the boat. And he got a little stretched out, wasn't in the correct position. The bottom of the ramp, the skier's got to have his left shoulder down. Right there, his arms are out a little bit too much, and his skis split, and he misses the spring. But what a great second jump for Geoff Carrington, 187 feet.
And that'll be the one to beat, 172 on his third one, so the 187 posted by Carrington is now number one. Glenn Thurlow skiing for Ski Supreme. His final jump of the day needs to beat 187. That posted by Geoff Carrington.
Glenn certainly has the ability, being the world record holder. The key here is for him to get his body position right at the base of the ramp. Arms in, left shoulder down. That's a good lift. I don't know if it's as far as 183, though, and still, I believe, short of Geoff Carrington's 187. Glenn works very well from the second wake to the jump. Edges, pulls his hands in. There is quick snap the legs at the top of the ramp, and he comes down, but I don't think that's going to be beyond 187 feet.
182 for Thurlow, so he will be in second place, just shy of first place Geoff Carrington's 187. So Glenn Thurlow's three jumps, 183 his first jump, that's his best, 177 and 182. I'm Kevin Slayton along with Wayne Grimbich, and we'll be back with more of the thrilling men's distance. We had a chance to talk with distance jumper Mike Hazelwood, and we asked him what he would have to do to beat Sammy Duvall today.
Well, it's been a long season. This is the final. I'm just going to go out there and try and work on my style, keep my back up, good cut, and get spring. Just try and do all the basics and hope it comes out long.
Mike Hazelwood with his second jump. That first jump currently puts him in third place. He has to go at least 5 feet further than Geoff Carrington's 187.
A former world champion and world record holder, Mike, like Sammy, is one of the great pressure skiers in water skiing. He likes to start in a hole, feels he gets better acceleration. Another nice jump. He'll be very happy with that. You can see the float just right at the end there.
That may have been the one to vault him into first place.
He'll be very happy with this. Look at this cut. He's so powerful. And he comes, he kicks it. Whoa, great kick. Beautiful body position. Solid jump.
195 for Hazelwood. That ties the tour record, and that puts him in the lead today, and that is really a big mark for Sammy Duvall to shoot at now. Mike Hazelwood, who's already tied the tour record with that jump of 195, now is in first place and would like to add to it. His father is here watching today.
Guaranteed he will be aggressive on this jump. Digging in even harder and later, really coming, split a little on that one. I think 195 is what he's going to end up with, and that's a pretty decent jump, would you say?
His father was certainly into it. He jumped with him. When Hazelwood went off the ramp, his father went off the dock.
Body position is crucial at the bottom. If it can just be a touch off, you're going to miss your spring, and he did there. Skis split, doesn't get the distance. Once again, it's speed and spring that gives the jumper his distance. An impressive display of jumping prowess by Mike Hazelwood.
181 on that one, but he's not concerned about that because it's the 195 that puts him in first place. Sammy Duvall, his final jump, the final jump on the tour this year, and it's still up for grabs. He needs to go better than 187. Has to have it here in order to displace Mike Hazelwood for the overall point standing. Here he comes. Listen to the crowd.
Let's watch his position at the bottom. His back's got to be a little straighter. Better spring. I don't know. It's going to be close. I think it's going to fall a little bit short.
It might very well be. It was very close.
It's got to be over 187 for Sammy to win the tour overall. Just not quite the same spring we saw at Shreveport.
182, Jerry.
Another jump of 182. It's going to fall short. Mike Hazelwood's going to be our winner.
Mike Hazelwood, the tournament's overall champion. Sammy Duvall falling short here this afternoon in the overall. Sammy Duvall is going to get a re-ride. Boy, what a break for him. And Mike Hazelwood, of course, doesn't agree with it. But Sammy Duvall has one more shot at going better than 187, which is what he needs in order to knock Hazelwood off the top of the standings. Here it is, the last jump of the year with everything at stake.
That's a better jump. That might be it. That just might be it.
Well, you can imagine what's going through Mike Hazelwood's mind right now.
We take another look. Once again, the body position is crucial. You're only on the jump 0.2 of a second. He kicks it over it.
189 is the final jump. That does it. He wins it on a re-ride. Well, that'll be one of the most controversial finishes ever.
I'm sure Mike might be shaking his head. Nonetheless, Sammy, a great effort. Really pulled it together on that last attempt.
What a spectacular finish. Getting a re-ride, Sammy Duvall takes advantage of that and knocks Mike Hazelwood off the top of the standings. Well, it was about as controversial a finish as could be. In a re-ride, Sammy Duvall wins the overall tour standings, finishes second in today's tournament, and Wayne is down dockside with Sammy. Wayne?
Sammy, congratulations on the tour overall victory. Tell us a little bit about the re-ride, however.
Well, thank you, Wayne. It was a real unfortunate situation. The boat got in a little too tight down there in the corner where the 500 and 600 foot buoy is. But when I took the what we call the triple cut whip and whipped to the left of the shore there, I almost hit the fence and I actually had to back off of my momentum, or else I would have gone up into the fence. Subsequently, I couldn't get as wide on the boat, and my whole setup was completely wrong in the third jump. And as soon as I stopped the boat and protested for a re-ride, they immediately agreed because they knew they were in too tight, and it turned out to be a good one.
Well, congratulations. Well done. You skied great all year.
Well, it's been a hard, long fight between Mike and I. I was just happy to be able to pull it off here in Indianapolis. Had a great crowd.
We'll see you next year.
I'll be here, Wayne. Thank you.
Kevin, the results?
Thank you very much, Wayne. So today's winner is still Mike Hazelwood in today's tournament with his record-tying jump of 195 feet. Sammy Duvall finishes second today, but first in the overall standings, edging out Hazelwood on the final jump. Geoff Carrington third today, and Glenn Thurlow fourth. The winner of today's event, Mike Hazelwood, with a jump of 195 feet, but he ends up the loser in the overall tour standings thanks to the controversial re-ride for Sammy Duvall. Mike is gracious enough to come over and talk with us, and he's down with Wayne Grimditch. Wayne?
Mike, congratulations, 195 feet, a great jump, strong cut, big kick, but you've won the tournament today, but I know you're a little disappointed about missing the tour overall. Tell us a little bit of what happened.
Yeah, I went 195, felt like a good jump to me, and then Sammy went out, took his 3 jumps, and there was an extra jump for a re-ride on hitting some fence down there, and I don't really like that too much because, you know, it's one on a re-ride, and I think it was out of course anyway, but maybe I should have done better in Shreveport and pulled my points up, then it would never have come down to this.
Well, you look terrific this afternoon, and we'll look forward to seeing you next year.
Thanks, Wayne.
Kevin?
Thank you very much, Wayne, and thank you, Mike Hazelwood, for stopping by and talking with us. So the final tour stop is now in the books, and Wayne Hollywood couldn't have written a more controversial finish to the tour and to today's festivities, in which Sammy Duvall wins the jump on a re-ride. How do you feel about that?
Well, if I was Sammy, I would feel probably okay about it. If I was Mike, I wouldn't like it. But let's remember that the tour overall crown is won throughout the year, your performance through the whole tournament. So it wasn't just this afternoon that perhaps Mike should have skied better in earlier tournaments.
And, of course, that's what the overall title means. For the entire year, Mike Hazelwood made the point himself. He should have skied better elsewhere, and it wouldn't have come down to this today. But he does win the Tour Stop today, winning this championship here with a record-tying jump of 195 feet, and we saw a lot of record capability efforts this afternoon.
We sure did. Michael Kjellander again proved that he is a force to be reckoned with this year and next.
And our congratulations also to the women's slalom winner, Camille Duvall. She won and had it wrapped up before she even came in here.
Yeah, she just kept improving. We thought it was going to be a Deena and Camille year, but it wasn't. Camille came through very strong, and she'll be around next year as well.
And Scotty Clack won his 10th victory in 10 tries in the men's freestyle jumping. And I've enjoyed the tour working with you this year, Wayne. It's been exciting.
Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to next year.
And